Today we're going to go over 7 questions every person should ask themselves before purchasing a firearm, especially people new to firearms. And this is regarding firearms for personal defense. And I'm Tom with Tom River Simple Living, and I never thought I'd be doing a video on firearms for personal defense. This is the Simple Living channel. We're about simple living. Well, we're all doing a lot of things this year we didn't think we would be doing. And I've gotten so many questions about this. And I'm going through this here at home because Mrs. River has decided she's getting her concealed weapons permit. Now, I'm not particularly crazy about her having a firearm. And that's because I know of the responsibilities that come with having a firearm. So, this is something I'm taking very seriously. Well, there's a lot of you that need to be aware of the negatives and the responsibilities that come with it, plus the learning to use the firearm and so forth. So I'm going to do a few videos on firearms for personal protection. And we're starting with this one. And the very first question you need to ask yourself is, should you get a firearm? Okay, now, and I'm a Second Amendment person. I love firearms. At the same time, there's a lot of you that just because you have the right to buy a firearm doesn't mean you should. Let me explain what I mean. I know a woman that got rid of her firearm because her husband, who was an alcoholic, got her firearm one night and shot up a chest of drawers in the house with small kids in the house. Okay, that's not an environment you want a firearm in. Okay, so if you're thinking about a firearm, is your home a stable home? Your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, are they stable enough, mature enough to be around a firearm? That's a serious question a lot of you need to think about. Do you have kids? Teenagers? Are your teenagers mature enough to be around a firearm? That's if you have the firearm secured and they can't get to it. All right, they're teenagers. They could probably figure it out if they really wanted to. All right, so you really need to think about all that before you purchase a firearm. And if your home's a place that a firearm would be safe and it's something you feel like you need to get for your protection, okay, then by all means, get you a firearm. But again, answer that first question first and think hard about it. All right, second question, are you prepared to accept the responsibility that comes with owning a firearm? And what I mean by this, you ladies out there, let's say you get your concealed weapons permit and you get a handgun, you keep it in your purse. Are you prepared to never again just walk in the house and just lay your purse down wherever if you have small kids? Because, that's not a good thing to do. You can't just leave a firearm laying anywhere, even if it's in your purse when you have small kids. You're responsible for that firearm at all times, even when it's not on you. All right, so there's a huge responsibility that comes with owning a firearm. Learning the safety procedures, how to operate it safely. Okay, that's something you need to do because you're responsible for that firearm if it accidentally goes off. Even if it is just an accident. You've heard the saying, diamonds are forever. No, they're not. But a bullet going off, that is forever. And whatever's in the path of that bullet, it hits whatever. So you're responsible for that. You have to accept that responsibility for that firearm, period. There's no way around it. There's no do-overs. And if you're not willing to accept that responsibility, you probably shouldn't get one. Okay, if you are willing to accept it, then by all means get one. Number 3, what's legal in your state? All right, that's a big question because that'll determine what choices you have or don't have in selecting a firearm. And if you live in a state that is extremely restrictive, don't think, well, you can just go somewhere else and get whatever or buy whatever from so-and-so and it'll be okay. That's not good, and you do not want to do that. All right, if you're determined you want a certain type of firearm and that's not legal in your state, you need to move. Okay, so know what is legal in your state before you start looking at firearms. All right, next, you need to decide what you're buying this firearm for. All right, now, most of you are interested in self-defense right now, but is this going to be for home defense or is it personal defense? And the difference being personal is just that, it's personal. Usually for personal defense, you have the firearm on you at all times. Home defense, your firearm is at your home. Okay, so this shotgun here, all right, this would be great for home defense. Shotguns are outstanding for home defense. This isn't great for personal defense because you're probably not going to have this on you very often. All right. And a shotgun also has the benefit of it's great for other things, such as hunting. And this is my shotgun for hunting. This is a turkey gun in particular, but it's still just a pump shotgun. But it also makes a great home defense weapon. So you need to figure out, what do you want to use your firearm for? Is it personal defense, home defense? Are you going to hunt with it, target shooting? Maybe you're going to try to do all of it with whatever firearm. And some are better at multi-purpose use than others. But that's just something you need to think about, and a question you need to answer when you're deciding what firearm you're going to get. Next, where are you going to store this firearm? All right, and this is an important question to think about ahead of time. You don't want to buy a firearm, come home, and you've got kids, whatever, in the house, and then realize, I need a gun safe. All right, you want to get the gun safe first. In my state, it's legal, even without a concealed weapons permit, to keep a firearm in a glove box, glove compartment. As a matter of fact, in my state, any compartment that has a latch on it, it's legal to store a firearm. So I could purchase a handgun, store it in my console of my vehicle, and not have to have a concealed weapons permit. A lot of you can't do that. Okay, so this is where knowing some of the laws comes in, and again, thinking ahead of time. If you're going to buy a firearm just to store in your glove box, but you're not going to get your concealed weapons permit, you need to know, is it legal to store it there? All right, so just give that some thought. Where are you going to keep this firearm? And if it's for personal protection, but the only place you can store it is at home, then it's no longer really for personal protection. Now it's for home protection. So just give that some thought, and that's just another question you need to answer ahead of time. Right. Number 6, where would you most likely need to use this firearm for protection? And let me explain what I mean. Okay, let's say I use this rifle for home protection. Okay, well then I would most likely need to use this in my home. The problem is I have neighbors. Okay, and this would not be something I would want to be shooting inside my home for fear of the bullets going through my house and into the neighbors. Okay, this would not be a good choice for me for home defense, even though it's an excellent choice for defense. But because of where I would likely use this at home, it's not a good option. If you have children, you don't want bullets going through your walls. Okay, you can see the potential for problems here, right? Okay, good. If you live in an apartment and you literally are surrounded by neighbors above and below you and on all sides, separated by thin walls, ceilings, and floors, okay, this could be a big problem. So you need to give that some thought. In that case, the shotgun with number 4 shot would probably be a much better option. Maybe even bird shot. In an apartment, probably bird shot. Not the most effective shell for personal defense, but if that's where you would most likely use it, that would be a very dangerous place to be discharging a firearm. Just for, worried about other people. Where would you most likely have to use a firearm for self-defense? And what type of firearm would be best for that situation? And when you go to purchase a firearm, that's something that the salesman at the store could probably help you with. But that's just another question you need to think about. And finally, number 7, are you prepared to deal with the consequences of having to use a firearm for self-defense? Okay, and that's a serious one there. You see all the time on the news where police officers mistakenly shoot kids that have BB guns. All right, think about that. Those police officers have to live with that, and they're trained professionals. Okay, so if they can make such mistakes, I promise you, you can make mistakes. That's why I said earlier, this is serious. Could you live with one of those mistakes? I mean, you have to consider that. Could you live with having to use a firearm on another individual, even if you're justified? I mean, that's a serious thing. Could you handle going to prison for using a firearm legally in self-defense? I mean, you were legal in using it. You were legitimately protecting your life or someone else's. You can still be convicted for that. Depending on, the circumstances, the political climate. I mean, we've got some crazy stuff going on right now. I mean, we're living in a time when it's okay to go out and protest, but if you try to operate your small business, we're going to lock you up because, you violated quarantine restrictions. But yeah, you can go out with, 10 or 20,000 of your favorite friends and go, set fires and stuff. It's crazy times right now. So using a firearm in self-defense, you could potentially go to prison for that. Now, there's an old saying among firearm enthusiasts that I would rather be judged by a jury of 12 than carried by 6 pallbearers. But that's something you need to think about before getting a firearm. I mean, it's serious. All right, folks, this is a complicated topic, and I'm sure I didn't cover everything, but this is something, 7 questions you need to ask yourself before you get a firearm. And once you've thought it through and put some serious thought into all of this, then you decide, okay, given what's going on right now, and there's a lot going on. I mean, when cities start talking about defunding police departments, there's a lot of serious stuff going on. Okay, if you go through those questions and you decide I need to get a firearm, and you're aware of all that, then by all means, and go to a local gun shop and talk to the salesman. Let them know, hey, you're new and you need some help and you have questions. And There are a lot of really good videos on YouTube that you can use for reference to, look up specific questions and topics you may have. Take advantage of those videos and learn all you can. Because once you buy a firearm, once you exercise your Second Amendment right, along with that comes the responsibility of owning one. And it's your responsibility to learn all you can, to learn how to use that firearm, to put in the time and effort to learning how to use it and becoming proficient with it. All right, I really hope that helped some of you out. And if it did, hey, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps out the channel. And if you want to see future videos, including me teaching Mrs. River how to shoot, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. God bless and have a good day.